The room went silent, the way rooms do when something impossible has just become real. One word. And somehow it rearranged every calculation happening in that space. Liang Qiao moved through the crowd with the ease of someone who has spent his entire adult life learning not to be stopped. People parted, not because he asked, but because people like my son don't have to ask. He was 20 years old and he walked like the room had been waiting for him. He stopped in front of me and said it once more to close any remaining doubt. Mom. Then he looked at his sisters. Are you two all right? Shiyu grinned. We made some friends. Zhao Yan, the fan who had claimed she'd been at his concert 2 days ago, the same girl who had laughed while people talked about me, had gone the color of old paper. She stood perfectly still with the expression of someone reviewing very rapidly every word they had said in the past hour. Song Shuqi had not moved. Her hand was pressed to her throat, and something in her face had come undone at the edges. Something unscripted, unmanaged, that none of her elegance could quite smooth back into place. He's your son? The words came out slowly, as if she were testing their weight. But you said he was working odd jobs, without a degree? He hasn't graduated yet, I agreed. And yes, he's been very busy with work. The national tour has been demanding. I tilted my head slightly. The industry tends to accommodate that kind of schedule. She looked at Liang Qiao. She looked at me. She looked at Liang Qiao again, as if repeating the exercise might eventually produce a different result. On the balcony above us, Song Luyan had stopped watching and started moving. He came downstairs with the expression of a man who has just understood, all at once, the shape of a joke that has been running at his expense for several hours. He pushed through the crowd. He looked at me. He looked at VP Lee, who stood nearby with the careful patience of someone who has been waiting for precisely this moment.
He looked at the business cards beginning to appear in people's hands, cards being extended toward me, from people who had spent the earlier part of the evening watching me get escorted from the room. You, he said, you deliberately hid all of this. You were just sitting there, watching us make fools of ourselves. I told you I wasn't short on money, I said. I told you my children were doing well. You chose what to believe. You could have said... Said what, exactly? I asked. Defended myself? Produced proof that I was worth treating with basic courtesy? I considered him for a moment. With respect, I don't believe I owe you that. His mouth opened. Nothing coherent came out. VP Lai stepped forward. He had the bearing of a man delivering a prepared statement, and he addressed the room rather than any one person in particular. For those who may not be aware, Miss Lin Shiyin is the founder and controlling shareholder of Xinyuan Group. She has held that position for over 20 years. He turned, precisely, to face Pei Ribo. You expressed interest earlier this evening in a partnership with Xinyuan. After tonight, that is a conversation we are no longer able to have. Pei Ribo, the man who had given the order to have us removed, had gone very still. She's the head of Xinyuan? His voice came out flat and strange. That's not possible. She's held the position for 22 years, VP Lai said, with the quiet satisfaction of a man who has been waiting a very long time for exactly this moment. And then it began. They came from every direction. People I knew, people I didn't, people who minutes earlier had been watching me leave with polite expressions of satisfaction. Business cards appeared in extended hands. Faces rearranged themselves with the particular speed of people who are very skilled at rearranging their faces. Competitors of the Pei family materialized from corners where they had previously been minding their own business. Ms. Lin, I've admired your work for years. Ms. Lin, I had no idea. I hope we might... If you have a moment, I would love to. I shook the hands that were offered. I said what is said in these situations. I was composed and unhurried, and I did not once look in the direction of Song Luyuan, who appeared to have simply stopped functioning. Pei Qingyao stood near the entrance, very still. Song Mingzhou, who had made the remark about female relatives pushing 50, had undergone what I can only describe as a full system shutdown. Pei Ruibo was in the corner speaking urgently to his wife, and Song Shuki was not listening to him. She was watching me with an expression I hadn't seen from her before. Something that might, in a certain light, be called reckoning. I had almost finished accepting the last of the business cards when I noticed a small shift in the room. A half-second recalibration in where people were looking. Someone had come through the entrance. I turned. And there was Chi Changyun, walking toward me with that unhurried ease of his. Suit jacket, no tie, the faint calm of a man who has arrived at a party that has clearly been very entertaining in his absence. Behind him, several senior executives arranged in the easy formation of people who simply go where he goes. The room that had just, in the span of 5 minutes, recalibrated me from a woman to be pitied into a woman to be cultivated, was now looking at my husband. And beginning, very slowly, to recalibrate again.